a statewide mandate that every municipality, that's county and city, has an anti-camping ordinance to address the inherent social problems of homeless people camping on public property. However, you go to 203.081 and it has the exceptions.
Slow down.
I got it.
203.081, it has the exceptions.
081.
Those exceptions are when there's an emergency and for an individual that's permitted to camp on public property.
I'm only country boy. Slow down, please.
All right.
Okay.
So the other statute of interest to this community would be ORS 466.
Slow down. Okay. ORS
466 265.
265.
And that,
ORS 266.
And those speak for themselves. They're available on the internet.
We'll find them.
And you'll find that we can have a yurt village.
I'm sorry, a what?
Yurt. Y-U-R-T. A yurt is defined as, it says in the statute, a circular structure including electricity and plumbing. That's permitted under state law.
U-R-C.
Y-U-R-T. Just
Okay.
read the statute, brother. All right there.
JJ, just to inform you, we will have a document.
I'll recap. State law permits the city of Portland to, 1, declare an emergency to waive its camping ordinance, or 2, permit an individual to camp. That's under ORS 203.081. However, transitional housing in a situation that we have here, where we have people that don't have housing, can be addressed through the establishment of an intentional community, we'd call it. But the statute allows for yurts.
Please, sir.
Yurts are what they have at the city, at the state parks on the coast.
Please, sir.
You can see yurts wherever you want to find them.
Please, sir.
Find them in the statute defined as having plumbing and electricity.
It'll take way too long.
I can shut him down.
That is permitted by the state law.
Yes, I can.
What's not addressed by the state law is the stonewalling across the street at City Hall, where they allow the Clydesdales. They allow the Clydesdales to camp in Waterfront Park to pull the Budweiser ad for the Rose Parade, but they don't allow the thousands of people that are outside to utilize the declaration of an emergency or the establishment of the transitional housing, including plumbing and electricity in the yurt village.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be captioning you or shutting you down. I wish you hear this, but please, we're on a very tight schedule. I got these numbers down. I'll look into them. Can we please get together with you after this meeting and move this on? Very short, please.
The sidewalk obstruction ordinance was voted in violation of the Portland City Charter because Commissioner Dan Salzman phoned in his vote. They declared an emergency when they passed the statute, or the ordinance, excuse me. I'm under pressure, put your hand down.
Okay, please. It's hard.
They needed to have, as an emergency ordinance, 4 votes at a minimum.
Okay.
And no matter how many they had, they could have had 5, but they had to have at least 4. They needed to have a unanimous vote. Commissioner Leonard was not there. Commissioner Saltzman was there and then he left. He phoned in his vote. No, he didn't, because his phone-in vote wasn't legal without giving Commissioner Leonard an opportunity to phone his vote, which they didn't. All this stuff is in the federal courthouse, filed in June of 2011 by me, and the proof of that is the fact that I've been arrested over 10 times since then.
Okay, please, sir, can we have that 3 minutes time period? That's good enough.
That's all I have to say.
Please, thank you. Rock and roll.
Item for GA, please come see Ani.
Yes, sir, in a minute, please, sir. I'm sorry.
He said to come see
Secondly, we have the lawyer's name, possibly, that you requested at last meeting. I don't know if the other gentleman that said he looked for that information.
I did contact Jack. He hasn't returned my call.
It's
so who do you have?
That's the lawyer. Do you know this? They're involved with Dignity Village. I might be able to have an opening to contact him. The name of the lawyer, if you wish it, I can supply it.
Yes, please, if you have it.
Damn it. Oh, yes, here it is. Monica Gerke? Gerchy, possibly.
Okay, we'll look that up.
Dignity Village. On occasion, I can talk to Brad or Terry at Dignity Village.
Spell her last name one more time.
I think it's just a shot in the dark. Gerke, Gerchy. That's how I guessed it.
And those are
Monica,
representing the plaintiffs?
those are the ones representing the 6 that we. I heard
Okay,
this
that's
from
good
somebody.
job, JJ.
Okay, and I can talk to Dignity Village about maybe opening a gate to be able to talk to them, because I heard this lady does work for Dignity Village as well.
That's great.
That's one thing. Oh shit. I've talked to R2D2, including Michael Moore, about coming up here,
Michael Moore
and
from
Eve,
Sisters of the Road.
and Eve about coming up here. I talked to them both for the past 24 hours. They come up. I can just keep pestering them. And rock and roll. Go.
I have a report back. To
Please.
answer the questions about whether or not you can record a cop, Munjin gave us the link while he was live streaming last Friday. I checked out that link. The way to access that information is Wiki Spaces for the City Hall Vigil, the original sign-up sheet. I did put this information on it. It says 002, so it's right at the top. So anyway, I will show anybody on this computer who wants to see it. But the way you access that is to just go to occupyportland.org, click the Vigil button on the left, the red button, and it'll take you to that Wiki Spaces page. And that is where I am putting all of these documents that we're gathering. So there's 2 things to know when you're videotaping a cop. If you're having the conversation directly with an officer, all parties need to know. You have to specifically tell the officer that you are recording with a videotape right then. But if you are an outside party, you don't have that expectation. So all you have to do is, if you're in a conversation with a police officer and you were videotaping, give it to your friend. Done. So that information and the ordinances and the links to that online, just go to Occupy Portland page, to the Vigil page.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, and I will continue. I'll put this up. This is the musicians one. This is the one that we wanted, that we talked about.
Oh shit.
Is that what you said? That's what you told me.
From what I understand, it's musicians.
All right.
But that's
So.
technicalities.
Okay.
That's a little shit.
So at this point, it sounds like we've researched everything that we thought about researching up to this point. Is that correct? Does anybody have anything?
Nope. I got more
find out
stuff
that
on
we
here.
didn't?
I'm going to be filling it in. I think we have a lot of work to do before
No, I'm just saying.
Monday.
We wanted to look at recording. We wanted to look at get all the sidewalk ordinances.
Yeah, I haven't got the sidewalk ordinances yet.
What do you guys got? Because now they're saying that they can't have blankets or sleeping bags in the park.
To start with, sir.
So in the
sir.
ordinance, it says campsite means any place where any bedding, sleeping bag, or other sleeping matter, or any stove or fire is placed, established, or maintained, whether or not there's a tent, lean-to, shack, or other structure, or any vehicle or part involved. So basically the way they wrote it is, if it's anything beyond you and your clothing, then
So we don't
it's
do
included.
picnics no more.
Please. Clarifying question.
They said bedding.
Anybody taking a blanket to a picnic is camping.
Picnics involve baskets and blankets.
They said bedding.
That's exactly what we should be talking about right now, because that's the only way we're going to get out of this, is because if we go to them, we need a lawyer.
Mike.
Clarification, please.
Mike,
You guys need to learn to change your terminology.
They call it camping when you're sitting on a blanket.
Okay.
We're just doing a report back from
Let's go to some sort of
clarification, please.
yes, and then we'll go to some sort of
please. Can I have this on paperwork?
Conversation.
Can I have this on paperwork, please? Clarification.
Okay, let me answer that real quick.
On Monday, please.
Well, I'll answer that real quick.
Please.
I will do my best to print it, but I ain't making no promises.
Please.
But it will be available on the internet, and I can give you the stuff to go find it if you want to go do it at the library on the internet. Beyond that, I can't make you any promises.
Clarification on
We'll put all this on the wiki.
Please.
Yes, but we are asking for hard copies to be made
Yeah,
available.
we will try to do that.
Maybe I can help you do that.
Okay.
So, just to backtrack a little bit, we wanted to talk about
the ordinances that we're dealing with, it sounds like we're starting to at least get our heads wrapped around that and get it assembled in one spot and talk about it. Recording video, was there anything else that we wanted to bring to the table today? Also contacting Right to Dream,
Right
about,
to Survive.
Was there anything else on our list to
Yeah, we got a
talk
lot
about today?
There's a lot, but we got to wrap it up quick.
That we talked about
we
the
can
last
make time.
Yeah,
what subject matter do we still need to talk about?
I feel like GA is starting. We asked for 15.
You asked for another 15 minutes.
I wasn't prepared to go through the list of all of the things that we said we would follow up on in like immediately. I'm trying, but
Well, in the interest of time, I'm just trying to make sure we get.
I know, but we do have other things, and I'm
While she's looking up that, I had a run-in with the officer this morning, and I was able to back him up off of me from what you guys told me on Friday. We changed the word of video to, we changed the word from, are you recording me to videotaping, and he backed up off of me. And we changed the fact that I can hold as many signs as I want as long as they're near me.
Okay, now when you say you've changed, are you saying you changed
He
what
said,
your answer to him was?
are you recording me?
Yes.
I said, I'm video.
Okay, I got you.
And he left it alone.
And then how did the sign thing play out?
And then he said, as far as the signs, he says, are you holding the signs? I says, look, man, I'm right here on the signs. I don't have to be holding the signs. I'm right here. Will you want me to pick the sign up? I'll pick it up. I'm going to put it back down.
Yesterday
we need name also of the cop.
Yesterday or today?
We know what name. Do you happen to know which officer that was, or you have it on video?
Yeah, I got it on video, but the officer is not our problem. Our problem is in City Hall. It's those security guards that keep coming out every morning. And they make the phone call. They'll see something that they don't like, and they'll make the call. They make the call first thing, as soon as they walk in the door. They come through, walk down the boardwalk, and then they go in there, make the phone call. This officer shows up.
Okay, can I ask this? That videotape, can you upload it at the office? Because we have started doing that. Can we do that? Can you upload that video at the office?
Any video that you have.
Great. We're using the office computer for that.
Before I forget to say this, I'd like to have a conversation about what you're talking about right there, but this will be a very private and close conversation. So if you want to talk about that with me in a few minutes, there's something I want to talk about.
And if
but we're
you
going to do it
guys
privately.
can help it, please try to change your wording.
I don't want this on the
because as
internet.
long as you use the words that they're using, you're beat.
Okay.
Please, can I have 15 seconds?
I think we got it right.
Understand, there's only two sides to the badge. The outside and the inside. City Hall, inside. We're outside. There's only two sides to the badge. Those are not your friends.
I'm not sure how that contributes to this.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I've been saying that.
All right, real quick. We are a little bit under the gun.
Sorry. I got some another 10 minutes.
Is there anything we want to touch on that anybody feels like it's old business that we need to follow up on and it's sort of pressing?
Point. Future business. On Monday, I'd like to set an agenda for us to have some dialed in plans on having that about 2 weeks from now, movement on information for people on the street.
Can you record?
That's future. I'm talking about. I just want to get this old stuff past us and make sure that there's nothing from
hit that button.
last week that somebody wants to talk about.
Please.
Has anybody got something old that they want to talk about? That's you if you want it.
I can't with people. I can't just quickly like that.
Breathe.
So we have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes before GA because JJ asked for the extra 15. Can you give me a second to look without talking?
If there's some really priority things in there that
there is, but just let me read it back.
Take a breath.
Okay.
I got a beer.
while we're waiting here, I'm just gonna ask a question. Does anybody feel frustrated by all this shit?
Oh, hell yes.
All this stuff that we're doing here?
Right.
Anybody? Anybody feel a little frustration over this? Anyone?
Can I
No,
ask
you're
you
not
for a
frustrated?
moment?
Let me ask you one more thing. Does at least doing something about this feel good?
Fuck yeah.
Yes, I got one thing.
Okay.
I got one thing. I went to the Indian Independence Day yesterday. This is kind of off subject. I hope you guys don't mind. They have a wheel that you spin with a bunch of different subjects that you meditate on. One was love, one was enthusiasm, one was patience. I spun mine. My turn. Some chick and me went down there. My new girl, she's so hot. And she says, let's go spin the wheel. And we spun the wheel. Hers came up with something I can't remember. Mine, I spun the wheel. You know what it said? Contentment. Okay, I'm JJ. And yes, I have PTSD. PTSD. Post-traumatic tent disorder. And I spun the wheel and it said contentment. Okay, so I'd like to speak of contentment. It speaks about to be happy about what you have, not to be bummed out about what you can't have. I wish I had the card with me. This is off the subject. This is point of process. Off the subject. I call it already.
Thank you.
Okay, but
Thank you very much, because I was just about to do that.
Contentment.
Okay.
I love it.
Is there anybody that we haven't heard from that has something they need to say? Yes.
The Postmaster General will be in Vancouver tomorrow at 7:30.
You're going to stick around for the GA and talk about that as well, right? This is the Vigil meeting that we're doing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you
It's
inform
fine
me
now.
as to when is the GA?
GA is coming up as soon as we get this out of the
Coming
way.
up,
Okay.
right after this.
Thank you.
Sorry.
But we're glad to hear about
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Hi, Jay.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry, Mary.
I have the phone numbers for Elk and NLG and Stu's office hours.
Stu, I'm sorry.
Stu Sugarman, who is an NLG lawyer, who is also an Occupy contact. He has office hours every Friday from 5:30 to 7, walk-in, at 838 Southwest 1st Avenue, Suite 400. And this is all on the wiki spaces for anybody, but what I would like to do is to say that if you want these numbers, to come see me in just a few minutes, and I'll write them down for you.
I need to give a little bit of extra. Stu's office hours, I'm not speaking for Stu, but it's my understanding that those office hours are there primarily for people who've been arrested. So when you go there and you want to talk about sidewalk ordinances, they might be wanting to talk about people who are actually getting arrested before we talk about other things with them. So when you walk in there, just please understand that that's probably the case. But if there's nothing going on, maybe he wants to talk about
this specifically, about our group. And he did say that, that's what it's for, but that if we came in and we wanted to ask him these questions, he would answer if he could. Because he knows that we would be asking him questions pertaining to the vigil and what we can and can't do.
Okay.
And then also about how to get documentation and general training. So he'll give us what he knows and more. I mean, he'll give us more than we ask. Elk is for support for arrestees. They're a legal collective for Portland's new political movement. Came out of Occupy. And they are elkpdx.org. And NLG said that their aim is to be a legal arm of the radical movement, and that's portlandnlg.org. So, and let's see. So it looks like we have a few of these ordinances to still check out and more documents to load, but I think that was most of it. Most of what we were coming back to.
I think I have something about all the ordinances that we talked about. At least I went and copied it and read it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we'll get it together and we'll try and print it and everybody will have it
I think
moving forward.
The most important thing that we've heard so far as report back is that 99 tried what we were talking about, which is we don't just go, oh, okay, anything you say and leave. He reframed what was going on. He answered the questions, stood the ground, and it worked. We're going to continue to have this, and I am putting together the book of the officer says this, and we correct or agree or whatever based on what we have collected. So we're still working on that. It's going to be very brief. It's going to be just per blah, blah, blah. I have my things with me. But that is a very important point. Last week, last Friday, 99 was like, what do you mean it has to be within 2 feet? You don't have to have a bicycle. You don't have to stay right next to your bicycle for them to say it's abandoned. You know, that's not true. So he challenged that, had his stuff clearly with him, but he didn't have to be within 2 feet and have just 2 signs and give up all of these things. And that worked. So we have to continue. So that's what we're doing. Before you know it, we'll have a little guy.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're touching base and moving forward still on the kind of the focal things that we wanted to keep in the forefront of our mind. Is there anything else that we're...
Ready to go to GA now?
Okay.
Final decision, guys.
Well, thanks for showing up here.
5 o'clock Thursday, right?
Say that again.
5 o'clock Thursday here. And then, in the meantime, please go to occupyportland.org and click the Vigil button on the left that's red, and go to the wiki spaces and check out the first couple documents on the right-hand side of that page. Because that's where we're putting our notes from the meeting, what we're following up on, any legal documentation that we have, plus the sign-up sheet.
5 o'clock
Thursday. Every Thursday. Every Monday at 6.